Text everyone you know, grow one tomato. Good morning, everyone. And it actually is morning. I am slowly turning into a morning person. I downloaded that Instagram Rise app for the full 7-day tutorial, and I didn't keep it because it was going to be expensive and it wasn't that useful for me. But what it did teach me is, like, when you wake up, please commit to being up. And typically my cats wake me up around 6 a.m. One thing about me, I'm going to be tired no matter what. And so I might as well be tired early and have much more time left in my day. I'm outside on my balcony today because I am going to be teaching you about the One Tomato Club. Text everyone you know, grow one tomato. The One Tomato Club is a social movement I have started in my Discord where I convince everyone I know to commit to growing one tomato. It's the One Tomato Club. Let's get into it with the first question. What is the One Tomato Club? Or what is a tomato? This is a tomato plant. It's one of my many tomato starters. Tomatoes are sort of one of the easiest crops to grow, in my opinion, and in a lot of gardeners' opinion. Not only are they easy, they are delicious, and you will never have a tomato better than the one you grow yourself. So I started this tomato from seed, and see how it's got its true leaves. It's starting to get really healthy. I started it in an itty bitty little cell that was this big, and then once it got about this big, I potted it up. Very easy. You can also buy these starts at your local Lowe's, at your local greenhouse. You have a million options in the world. So I garden. That's my new hobby. I have a community garden plot. I have lots of seedlings. I have lots of pots and supplies. I'm doing the most. I have a little balcony garden. I have my garden plot. That's not what I'm challenging you to do. I am challenging you to grow one tomato. Here is the value of joining the One Tomato Club. One, you're learning a skill. I have talked to so many people and I said, you should give gardening a try. And they said, I have a black thumb. And I said, yeah, girl, it's a skill. Like, learn to get better. You don't have to be good at gardening to join the One Tomato Club. That's the point. You're skill building. You are also learning how to grow and nourish something. And I don't know, there's something really beautiful about watching something grow and then creating food that you can have or share with your community. I love harvesting like giant buckets full of tomatoes. I have this little pot here, which I'll talk about soon, and I will fill it with tomatoes multiple times. I don't even like tomatoes that much, but I share them with my friends and colleagues, or I freeze them and use them for pasta. You will never have a tastier tomato than the one you grow yourself. I promise you. They taste like balls of sunshine. They're like nature's boba. You pop them in your mouth and you go, ooh, flavor. Nature's boba, that's what I'm telling you. So you're skill building. You are learning to nourish something and grow it. I'm getting a little distracted because people are walking to class, but they don't care about me. Second reason you should grow one tomato. Gardening is, I think, going to be extremely important in the coming years. You can grow your own organic produce. That's awesome. Grocery prices are raising. Like, we've been talking about these inflated grocery prices for a really long time. Now, a lot of gardening influencers are going to tell you about their recession-proof crops. And between you, me, and the plants, that pisses me off because I look at their gardens and they have the Birdie's raised beds, which, much love to Epic Gardening, one of my favorite channels. Much love to Birdie's raised beds. They're very quality. They're very expensive. And there's something to me about extremely wealthy influencers who are spending a lot of money on their gardens telling you about recession-proof crops. Gardening doesn't necessarily save you money because it has the propensity to be a very expensive hobby. I can't stop buying gardening supplies, right? It's kind of addictive. It's like any hobby, you know, like if you are very into watercoloring, that can be a cheap hobby, right? It is for me. I have some watercolors from Five Below. I have some watercolors that a friend gave me, and I buy cheap paper. That is a cheap hobby. But when you get more into things, you get more expensive. And so the One Tomato Club is a economic way to enter gardening as a hobby in a very frugal way. And I sort of get really upset with these influencers who are like, recession proof your garden. And it's like, dude, you've spent like $3,000 on your garden beds. That is like 2 months of rent for someone. That is not a realistic expectation. It's really, really frustrating. I have done the math on my garden. I'm not making money back, right? I have calculated, I will show you the spreadsheet, I'll put it up here, from last year. I have calculated costs of what my harvest is bringing in versus what I'm putting out, and it's not. So it's not about saving money. That is not, like, I think, a fair way to pitch gardening to people. Now, if you're homesteading, right, you're one of those, that's your lifestyle, you're homesteading and you have tons of fruit trees and you've invested all this money and you're years down the line and you are getting crops and saving on your grocery bill, sure, you might save some money. The One Tomato Club, if you eat a lot of tomatoes, eat a lot of pasta, very, very versatile fruit, it can be really economic. So I'm gonna walk you through how you can join the One Tomato Club. So you're gonna need a few things. You're gonna need primarily one tomato. You can get your one tomato a lot of ways. I grow from seed. I think it's a lot of fun. You can get nice seeds or you can get the cheapest seeds you can find. They certainly sell them at the Dollar Tree. My friend online got a little kit from the Dollar Tree. I'll post a picture here. And it's growing, it's sprouting. She's in the One Tomato Club. You can get seeds from the Dollar Tree and plant it in soil that you buy from the Dollar Tree. What I have here is I have Happy Frog soil with these little things. Like, I didn't buy these ever. You acquire these, and I transplanted it up. But this was $1.25. This is a really good sized pot. It's plastic, so depending on how you feel about plastic, from the Dollar Tree, and I'll use this like many times. And this to me feels like a good pot for my one tomato. Now, you might ask the question, do I want a determinate or indeterminate tomato? If you're joining the One Tomato Club, I might recommend a determinate tomato. That means it stops growing at some point. And so a lot of people in the One Tomato Club are gonna have limited space. If you're porch gardening, you can probably get away with indeterminate. You might have to size the pot up. They have really great $5 pots at Dollar Tree. They also have this. This is a Home Depot bucket, costs $3. Perfect size for your one tomato if you're growing an indeterminate tomato. Indeterminate tomatoes, things like cherry tomatoes, San Marzano tomatoes, they're gonna keep growing, which can be economic, right? Because you would get a really big harvest off of them. But you can also get something smaller, a determinate tomato. If you don't wanna buy plastic, I got all these pots for $2 at my local thrift store. Like, you have really sustainable and economic options for the One Tomato Club. The thing about the One Tomato Club is I don't think it's actually the One Tomato Club. The One Tomato Club is a gateway into the Two Tomato Club, to the One Onion Club, to the 100 Radish Club. Once you start growing, I promise you, you won't be able to stop. Because in some months, when this is producing, you are gonna be so charmed and delighted by unlimited produce at your fingertips. Carly, what do I do if I don't like tomatoes? Okay, babe, that's okay. Grow something else. The One Tomato Club can be anything. It can be the One Pepper Club. I have a really great potted pepper plant. They work really well in containers. Join the Blueberry Club. You got $30, you can get a blueberry bush. This at my local Ace Hardware, $30. Not the most economic thing in the world, but this is just gonna sit right here with me. The beauty of growing things yourself is an addictive feeling, and I think that today you should commit to the One Tomato Club. I honestly hold true the opinion that gardening is a moral imperative. Like, if you have the ability, the means to grow something yourself, it is like a skill and a thing you should do, because I feel like we as humans take so much from the world that it's about time we start putting back in. And I guess, like, it sort of gives you perspective too, of like, all of these things I'm consuming, I had to watch grow. When I consume, I have to see the consequences of everything. When I buy that zucchini at the grocery store, I know how much time and effort that zucchini took to grow. And so it makes you a more mindful consumer. And by the way, if you don't want to grow one tomato, if you've got space outside, like if God bless you, you have a yard, grow one zucchini. That thing will grow like a weed. I know a lot of people don't think zucchini grows well. It gets taken over by bugs pretty quickly, but you still get a lot of zucchini, like too many zucchini. Other things that you can grow that I think are easy, I think squash grows easy. It takes a little bit of work because of pests and disease, but you still get a whole lot of tomatoes. And you are going to be hearing a lot of ambient noise. Realistically, that's what happens when you're outdoors. You hear ambient noise, and that's the beauty of it. Because even if you live in an urban or suburban environment, you can still grow one tomato. This is a blueberry. Grow one blueberry. Grow one pepper. Grow one potato. The bucket like this, it's not food safe, so maybe get something food safe for your potatoes because they're like really in there. Get a food safe bucket or a pot, bunch of dirt, few old potatoes, and then you get a bucket full of potatoes. Grow one potato. Grow whatever you want. The tomato is just, to me, the starter. And so text everybody you know. You probably know what? 100 people? If 100 people text 100 people, grow one tomato, think of all the love we are going to be giving one tomato. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Text everybody you know, grow one tomato. This has been Carly Magpie. Bye-bye!